I can't believe that this year is already like over. Hey guys, my name's Charnice and welcome to my channel. So today is the 28th of December, 2020. I can't believe the year that we've had. It has been a bit of a roller coaster of emotions, physically, a bit of a roller coaster, mentally roller coaster, just like in general, a roller coaster. But this video I've decided to do to kind of say what my goals were for this year as of 2020 and then what kind of my goals are for next year. Now, I don't really like to do New Year's resolutions. I don't like to have set in stone goals, but I kind of like to have a few things that I would like to achieve. I know that's essentially is, making 2021 revelations or revolutions? Revolutions. My brain just went everywhere. But I kind of just really, I feel like if I have some short-term goals for the new year, and I make sure that I at least write them down and I've got them prepared for the next 12 months, I feel like I might do them. Whereas if I just said them in my head and just left that, it probably won't happen. But the fact that I'm now putting it into a video form, not just, writing them down and seeing what happens. So for last year, well for this year actually, I should say, I actually wrote them in this book. You can't see this, but this is the first page that, not really the first page. Oh yes, it is the first page. The first page of this notebook that I actually got last Christmas from my Secret Santa from my old workplace. And I wrote 7 things that I wanted to have done. Now I'm going to tell you for a fact, so far, not all of these got done. Probably 2 of these have been done, but I'm proud of myself for getting a couple of them done. I'm not going to lie. So the first one was a UK trip. Now, at the start of the year and last year also, I was planning to go to the UK for 6 to 8 months and be a nanny and an au pair in the UK and then go travel to Europe for a couple of months. But due to the fact that we had what was happening in the world, that did not happen. Oh my god, my voice. So yeah, that did not happen. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do that and I probably won't be able to do it for a couple of years, or at least be able to do the exact thing that I wanted to do. But I still would love to go to the UK. I still want to go to Europe and enjoy the joys of going to that place in that area of the world. So that was that. The next one I had was saving $10,000 for a home loan. Now I'm very close to that. I think last time I checked I had $8,500. So the fact that I made it really, really high on purpose so that way it made me want to save more money. So next year, even though I didn't make it to 2,000, one of my goals is to make it to 20,000. Now, obviously, I am going to university next year. I'm going to be living out of home. I'm going to have bills. I'm not going to be able, hopefully I get it, but I don't personally think I'll be able to fully get to it. But the fact that I have it as high as it is also just to my mind to me going, when I see something and I go, oh, do I actually need that? Or do I just want it? And could I use that money for something else? Could I save that money for my home loan? So that's where that one's going. The next one was to save $2,000 for a van. Now the reason why I wanted to have saved $2,000 for a van was because I want to renovate a van, or not me personally, because I don't think I could do that, mainly because I feel like I might blow the thing up. But if I'm able to save that and then I could save that and then I was going to go overseas, and I was going to be saving some money while I was over there, and when I got back I was going to focus more on saving for a van. Yes, I wanted to have money saved for a home loan, but my next thing after going to the UK was to go live in a van for 12 months and go travel Australia. Now I still am going to do that, it's just not going to be for 12 months most likely, and it's also not going to happen for probably another 3 years. Fun things. The next thing was to go through my stuff. Now I wanted to go through every single thing that I owned, kind of like doing the Marie Kondo thing, and deciding whether or not I needed it. Now I have done that. I've done that through various times throughout the year, and I've also redid it 2 weeks ago, but a lot of the things I can't decide whether or not I actually need them until I move, which is fun. The next thing was to take a road trip, which I have taken like 3 road trips this year. And by the way, also another thing I need to mention is I completely forgot that I wrote this. I forgot that I had written down in this notebook that I had goals, and it wasn't until I was writing goals for this year that I actually found these. And so, oh, someone's ringing me. Hello. We're done. Bye. What was I saying? Oh, road trip. So yeah. Yeah, again, I didn't know that I had written all this down. So the fact that I had done road trips without me even realizing. So my first road trip that I actually had done this year was I went to Victoria to go see my cousins and my dad's side of the family for my uncle, my aunt, both turning 50 this year. One of my cousins had turned 21 in February, and another one of them was turning 20. I think she only just turned 20 a couple months ago now. So the idea was to do a big family gathering, bring all your friends, have a bit of a big thing, and it kind of worked out really, really well because there was a lot of people there. It wasn't a lot of people, but it wouldn't have worked with restrictions that have happened now. So that was good. And so I managed to go there. I saw my grandparents on my mum's side of the family. I saw my parents on my grandfather's, saw my grandparents on my dad's side of the family. And I saw all my cousins. I got to stay with one of my cousins for a couple of days, stayed with my aunt and uncle for a night. It was just great to see that side of the family, especially since I haven't seen them in forever. And on the way down, I saw a friend of mine and her boyfriend, who I haven't seen really since high school, which was great to see them. And then on the way back, I stopped in Canberra and saw another one of my good friends who I haven't seen since the last time I went to Canberra, but that was with the family, and that was a couple of years ago also. And then I dropped by in Sydney, and I saw my best friend in the whole entire world. And I'm so sorry for any of my other best friends, but this is my best friend. And she goes to university in Sydney, and she's lived there for the last 3 years. And she's actually going to be moving back next year, which is actually kind of a blessing in disguise in the sense because with where I'm moving, we're going to be very close together. It's going to be like a shorter trip than from where I am living now. So that was my first road trip, and then the second road trip I did, I went to Dubbo for a couple of days. I realised that I wasn't working for about, I think it was going to be 5 or 6 days, where from when I finished working to when I started working again the next week. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to go away for the weekend. So I went there, I went to Dubbo Zoo, I went horse riding, which I haven't been horse riding in like forever. And when I say forever, I mean like the last time I went horse riding, all I was allowed to do was sit on the horse and do nothing. Whereas this time I actually got to ride the horse by myself, which was so happy. I went to the Blue Mountains, I went to the Three Sisters. It was really cold because again, it was like in the middle of winter here. And so I just ended up staying in the room majority of the time, watching movies, catching up on movies, catching up on TV shows. I read a couple of books. I think I started reading a couple of books. I don't think I actually finished them now that I think about it. On the trip, I finished them after. So it was kind of like a good getaway. Like I managed to do a few things that I really wanted to do, and then I just relaxed for a couple of days and then came back and then went back to work. And then the last road trip that I have done was the other week when I went to Port Macquarie for a couple of days. It was meant to be up to Byron, though that got cancelled because of all the bad weather and I had to go with my best friend. So I went by myself to Port Macquarie, which I did learn some new lessons, like don't take country roads when it's fucking down raining and you don't know those roads very well. Lesson learned. So there's that. Now the next one is to finish my online course. Now I didn't do that. I tried so hard to finish those online courses that I had. I'm paying to do it. Like I'm still paying for it now for the specific online course that I was going to do. I haven't done it. Like the fact that I haven't finished it, my deadline's done, but I still have to pay for it because I I'm paying for this course. Anyway, and the last one I had was to start a YouTube channel. Now technically, I did start a YouTube channel back in January. I just posted for maybe it was about 2 months. It was until my trip to Dubbo, and I tried really hard. Like, I started in the early months, and then I tried to do my Dubbo trip, and it just didn't work. And so one of my goals for this year coming is to be a bit more invested in my YouTube channel and trying to actually do it, because this isn't necessarily for anyone else other than myself, though I go for if anyone else wants to watch these, but these are kind of more like diaries, yeah, it's like pretty much what a vlog is, like vlogs and things like that. They're just like diary entries that you put on the internet. These are for me for the future, to actually show that like what I have done. And also to get out of my comfort zone, because I don't like being on this side of the camera. I'm more of the person who likes to be on the other side, like behind it. And so the fact that I'm on this screen and now I'm talking to you, it's a bit nerve-wracking. Yeah, so these are kind of a wrap up of my goals for 2020. So for my goals for 2021, I've got maybe 3 or 4 goals. So I want to work more on my saving goals. So I've got them all written down. I've got them all in my app, because through the bank that I'm with, you can put goals on your accounts. So I've got those all written down, and they're all in my accounts for saving goals. There's those ones. And then my second goal is to pass university for the year. I don't want to have to redo any one of my subjects or units or anything like that. I don't want to do that. Make new friends, because I'm moving to a new place and I'm not going to know anyone there. So if I can make 2 or 3 good close friends that I know that I will have until at least the rest of university, I will be happy. Now, I do have a couple of reading goals, but just so everyone knows, I have a booktube that I'm also going to work on this year, which is another goal of mine, to work on my YouTube's channels. Both of them, my booktube and this is kind of like my vlog type one. So I'll explain my book ones on that one. And then my last goal is to do these monthly challenges. Again, you cannot see this piece of paper very well, but I've done some scrapbooks. So for January, I've got them all written down. I will explain every single one that month, because they might change a little bit. But for January, my January challenge goal thing is to walk 30 minutes every single day. So January has 31 days. I'm going to be working for the next 31 days, starting January 1st. I'm going to at least walk outside for 30 minutes a day, which I don't usually like doing. I prefer to sit on the couch and do nothing, but this year coming, everyone's kind of like new year, new me, and I'm kind of like, yes, I do want to do that, but I want to establish some healthy goals in my life, and I feel like doing these challenges every month will help me decide whether or not they work for me. I don't want to go full on head on and decide in 2 weeks that no, it's not for me, whereas I find that maybe if I do a month, that's 4 weeks, it gives me a bit more time to figure out whether or not I want to do it. I felt like a lot of talking. Also, I got a new Fitbit for my challenge, so I can actually track my steps, and so I can know whether or not I'm doing the right thing. Thank you everyone for watching. Hello future self, and Happy New Year. See you in the next video.